especially because he's never dated a trans woman before.
Oh, what?
At birth, I was assigned male. However, I identify as a transgender woman.
This is quite interesting. So, we've got a new couple, Cleo and Christian. Now, this is Cleo, who's just come out to say that she is transgender, biologically born as a man. Cleo is also autistic. But this is where it gets interesting because we're about to meet Christian shortly. And what he says with his friends, very, very subjective. But I will say this though, I know you're wondering, does Christian know that Cleo is trans? Yes, he does. So there is no secrets in that department. But has Christian ever been with a trans woman before? Now that is where it gets interesting. But before we continue, please do make sure you start off by hitting that freaking subscribe button and also like the video. But let's get into it.
Anyone explored with other genders, or is this all new to you?
Now that question is golden.
There was a time in college where I made out with a guy, and immediately I just knew, I was like, this ain't for me. Like, I'm heterosexual AF.
Now this is where it gets interesting. In fact, this is where it gets sticky because you see, when a man transitions into a woman, once the man is transitioned into a woman, usually a lot of trans women seek a straight man because some of them see it as, if I move a straight man, that gives me confirmation that I fully transitioned into being a woman. But then you get some trans women who still want to date women. And then you get some trans women who don't mind who they date. They could date someone who's straight, someone who's gay. It really doesn't matter, right? All right, cool. So that's why it gets interesting when he says that, hey, man, well, when I was younger, I did kiss a guy, but I knew straight away I was not da-da-da-da-da. Now, the reason why that is quite crucial, you see, is because at this moment in time, Cleo has not had the bottom surgery. Cleo pretty much still has the wood. And for some people, for some men out there, and I'll say some straight men, they would probably still see that trans woman as a man because you haven't had the full transaction. Now, I said some straight men would see like that, but then you get weirdly some straight men who are like, oh no, even though you got that, it's fine. I can use the whole of the back. To be honest with you, when it gets to that point, it gets a bit sticky for me because I'm just a bit confused. I'm like, listen, as far as I'm concerned, if anyone's got wood, yeah, and if I'm into you and you've got wood, that must mean that I'm gay 100% or bisexual at least, right? I can't be straight if I'm going to be with someone that's got wood. It doesn't make sense to me personally, but that's just my own personal opinion, you know what I mean? You can attack me if you like, but I'm going to ignore you. But the point being is that when it comes to Christian here, obviously at this moment in time, he's made it abundantly clear. So the question is though, when he does find out, because at this moment in time, it has not been confirmed if he knows that Cleo still has the wood. But this conversation does get a bit more interesting, so let's get into it.
So has Cleo had gender confirmation surgery?
That is something that she would have to say. That is not something that I feel comfortable with disclosing with people.
You see, this is where it gets a bit sticky for me personally. I don't know if I'm buying this guy. I don't think he knows. I don't think it's a matter of, you know, yeah, Cleo doesn't want to disclose that. I don't think that's the case. Because to be honest with you, what would be wrong with you disclosing to your friends and your family that the person you're with still has the wood? Because if you don't want to disclose that to your friends and family, it tells me that either one, you don't know, or two, you do know, but you're too ashamed to tell everyone because you don't want everybody to think that you're now potentially gay. Because of course, other people around you will see you as gay. Even though you may not see yourself that way, the others may be like that, you know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I think either one, he doesn't know, and he's hoping that when he gets there, there ain't nothing there. Or he does know, and he's nervous. He's ashamed. Anything. But I guess we'll find that out later on in the season. But we continue.
Hypothetically, she got some boobies up front.
Oh my God.
You got dick down low.
Oh boy. I mean, I'd have to cross that bridge when I come to it.
How can you say that you're gonna have to cross that bridge when it comes to it? Like, yo, nah, don't make me mad. If you're a straight guy, and now you're in a position where you're now being open enough to date someone that is trans, don't tell me that you're not going to prepare yourself for whatever's going to come your way. Don't tell me that you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to cross when it comes. So what happens when you get there and she's got a bigger wood than you? Yeah. We're going to turn around and be like, you know what? Yours is bigger. I'll take the receiving for today. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? What happens when you get there and she's got one that's bigger than you, and you're like, yeah, you know what? That's actually putting me to shame. Yeah, this isn't gonna work for me. Or what you know what I mean? Or if you get there and obviously the wood is whatever size it is, right? And you're like, you know what? Nah, I can't do it, man. Like, I need to see that vagina. Like, I need to see that pom pom. You know what I'm saying? So to be honest, the fact that he's saying it like that, I'll cross that bridge when he gets there. It's either one, he really means he's going to cross that bridge when he gets there, which is not a good thing. And that's something that Cleo needs to basically just say, do you know what, that's a red flag. Because Cleo obviously is autistic. She's already talking about, you know, obviously how autism works. And also at the same time, she's definitely afraid of the fact that, you know, other people won't accept. She's definitely afraid of how he's going to be with her around other people as well. How accepting he's going to be as well. Because she doesn't want to be heartbroken or someone waste her time. So I want to know if they've had that conversation. But this guy is sitting here right now and saying, oh, I'll cross that bridge when it gets there. It can only mean one thing. It's either one, no, two things. Either one, he's really going to cross it when it gets there, which is not a good thing. Or two, he's already thought about it and goes back to my previous point that I said before and another point, and that was that he's just too ashamed to admit it right now. But listen, the fact is though, if you're now open to telling your friends about the person that is, you know, that you're going to be in a relationship with, okay? If you're open to that, then that means you should be open to telling them anything they ask you. I mean, you don't have to necessarily, because I guess there's nothing wrong with privacy. Everybody wants that privacy, right? So I respect that. But I feel like in some circumstances, to really show that you're comfortable. I mean, look at it this way. If he's a straight man and he's dating a woman and the lads are having a conversation about their women and whatnot, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna more or less speak freely about your woman, right? Your biological woman, right? So why would you not speak freely about your transgender woman? Do you know what I mean? Like, we talk about equality, right? You know what I mean? It should be the same energy for everybody, no matter what, right? What's the point? Otherwise, what's the point of equality? You know what I'm saying? Even though equality is strongly subjective, you know, in many ways, but anyway, that's a different conversation for another time. But yeah, we'll get into it.
You're not worried about it because, like, you're someone that's said, I am not attracted to men.
I'm not. And it's
so
not,
how does that work with, like...
Well, I mean, you know, sex isn't the end all be all in a relationship. At least
That is gonna be one of the most biggest BS I've heard in my life. Sex is not the end all in a relationship. Are you mad? Sex is a big part of a relationship. Are you mad?
for me. That's the thing.
I don't know, dude. That's a huge part of relationships. I'm wondering if this is like an exploration for him. It's not really something that I am for sure. Like, yes, he can handle it, or no, he can't.
Listen, man, the friend is speaking facts. If you ask me, I don't know if this is really for him. No, I do know. It doesn't feel like it is for him. Now, he did say at one point, though, that, oh, I just don't really feel confident, disclosing certain things with my friends because it's not like I'm asking them about their partners. But then that goes back to my point of the fact is, though, if he was in a relationship with a biological woman and they were having these conversations, trust me, some men, they will have conversations freely, to be honest with you. So I don't know why he's moving like that, to be honest with you. But then again, though, now I think about it. Have I ever had a conversation with my guys about my woman? No. The only time I spoke about women with my guys is women that are not my woman. Maybe he's got a point there. But then, no, I haven't. No, but respectfully, when your girl is your girl, you don't violate. You don't tell nobody. I mean, you talk about how good the pom pom is, you know what I'm saying? You talk about how good the head is, and that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you don't really talk about like details, you know? Or do you talk about that? To be fair, nah, you don't. No, I've never actually had a conversation. Nah. I've never had a conversation about my actual gal. No, I haven't. No, it's only a gal that isn't my man. Yeah, I'm trying to just decipher certain points here, you know what I mean? So I make sure I'm not being, biased or whatever it could be, right? But I do know plenty of men out there that openly talk about their girl. I mean, you got Gino who will happily send pictures of his girl to his ex-girl, right? You know what I mean? So yeah. Now for me personally, this guy right here, if I'm clear, I'll stay clear. There's something off-key about him. The fact that he's so reluctant to be answering certain questions and the way he goes about it, it just feels very sneaky. And for me personally, yeah, he says that him and Cleo have had conversations secretly or privately, whatever. And I'm not saying they haven't had them, but I am not convinced that he is fully convinced that he's gonna want to be with Cleo, because at the end of the day, if man's had an experience before kissing a guy, like, don't get me wrong, the difference is that the time when he kissed the guy was a guy. Obviously, when he meets Cleo for the first time, obviously he's gonna see someone that is obviously the presentation is gonna be of a woman, right? All right, cool. But all I know is this: from a straight man's perspective, if you're taking your clothes and I'm seeing wood, are you mad? I'm walking the opposite direction because I know I don't want to be seeing no wood. You know what I mean? Because I know what I like. You know what I mean? I like the clitoris. God, oh. Women, man, so freaking beautiful, man. I don't lie to you, man. Yeah. But that's how women are toxic, man. Men, stay away from women, man. Listen, man, stay single, man. What women have got down here, man, is toxic. Gets in trouble. I know enough men out here, man. They're in a relationship with a woman just because it's good down there. But then when they talk, it's always an argument. Hey, you're gay, yeah. You know what I mean? Listen, man. Men, protect yourself from women's greatest tool. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter how lubricant it can get down there. Protect yourself. But anyway, end of the day, with this guy, Christian, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that he's going to be genuine to Cleo, you know what I mean? But I know obviously how much Cleo is a bit nervous about things not working out, but I really hope it does work out. But at the same time, I don't know about this guy. Feels a bit off key still, but you guys let me know what you're thinking down below and we'll talk about it. But anyway, with that being said, don't forget to like, sub, and of course, peace.